Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to dive into Metal Gear Solid. Overall, the series, there's some really good news that I might have kind of slightly missed during some interviews after Tokyo Game Show. And information is very pivotal. And I probably might have went over it, but today we're going to dive all the way deep into this topic. And it's exciting because the series is literally just getting started, basically, which is so crazy to even say. I am so excited that that's even a thing, just to think about how far we have come and where we need to go and what it could be. Okay, so lock in for me. Let's talk about it and get into it. Before we do, I do have giveaways for you guys. I want you guys to get involved with the beautiful giveaways for the holidays. We're gonna just give away some Metal Gear games, whether it's new ones, old ones. We're deciding to change it up. Delta's not coming out this year, so we'll just give you guys a couple of get freebies. Announce it in the comments. Also giving away Delta copies when it does release. We'll announce them, pick winners, whoever leaves a comment, and then go from there. So just stay tuned and rock with us. And you're in to win either way. All right, so first things first, I want to just say the producer Nori, he recently was in an interview and he basically said that they want to keep the series going. They want to update it and make it masterful for the foreseeable future, for 20 to 50 years, which is an outrageous statement to say. Like 50 years ahead from now, be able to keep the series alive. And the truth is, there's a lot of good games. And I think fans like us who are hardcore, if you're new, by the way, you're welcome here. But the hardcore guys, we'll play the old ones and we'll think it's fine, right? Freaking pixelated, bad gameplay mechanics, loading screens that are outrageous, or whatever nonsense that's in the old games, we'll enjoy them and think that it's okay because it's our favorite series ever. And so I'm guilty. I'm not here to fake the funk. Like if I'm some, perfect gamer that's like, oh no, I don't ever. I'm biased as hell. Okay, so I do play these retro games, and I do enjoy them, and I don't complain about the graphics too much. I will say there are two Metal Gear games that I tend to not be so happy with, and I'm going to go ahead and show you guys very quickly so you can see for yourself which one I'm talking about. All right, it's this bad boy right here, part 1 and 2. This is the original Metal Gear. There was no Solid in that game, and so the reason to remember this is because this was extremely difficult to play. Like it's just a lot of pixelated and no voice acting, no cutscenes. The visuals are a little bit old, outdated compared to 2024. You're talking 30 plus years. I mean, it's a lot, guys. So the reason this is important is because guess what? It's your job to update this, Konami, and they are deciding to do so. And the developer had a really cool statement that he made, and this is what this video is going to dive into, which is we know that these games are outdated. We know that some of this stuff needs to get upgraded to be introduced to new players and to the veterans with the new mechanics. And then he talked about Delta and how it took a lot to make sure that they designed it for the modern day controls. And honestly speaking, guys, the more I learn about Delta, the more impressed I am and the more faith I have in this team. I really do. And the reason why is I played all of Metal Gear, and I know the fact that they decided to change some of the smaller details doesn't mean that you agree with everything that they're saying. By the way, this is me playing live. Doesn't mean that you agree with everything that they're saying, but the point is that they understand that there's some things that need to change. Okay. And so they went and they updated and upgraded Delta specifically. And now we have a new game that's coming, and it's better than we thought. A lot of people were saying Delta is going to be just a remaster. They're just fixing the HD, and it's not true. And so this is very important to think about. And by the way, I'm not going to continue this game. I just wanted to showcase how pixelated and ridiculous this game was for its time. And we're lucky enough to have new, better games that are a little more modernized. So while Snake Eater wasn't the one that they needed to remake, and I felt like part 1 and part 2, 1989 original, and then the second version, those are the two that I personally feel should have come out and got remade. But the developer said, guess what? Those are too hard to remake because you can't just upgrade graphics on those. And so they don't want to just try to ruin it. They want to do it right. And he was talking about redoing certain areas for Metal Gear Solid. If you guys don't know Metal Gear Solid, it's the 1998. It's the first cinematic voiceover 3D style of Metal Gear. Okay, the first two that you just saw me put on was Metal Gear from 1987, and then 1999 Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake. So those aren't necessarily playable in today's day. Okay, graphically, gameplay wise, we're just in an advanced state. So they do have to remake those, and it's not going to be a remake. It's basically making a new game. And that's honestly how I feel. It's like, just redo it. And I think Hideo Kojima himself said it in an interview. I don't think I know this because I watch all his interviews. He said that he would like to remake the original Metal Gear games because he wanted to retcon and restart the series and change a lot of things. And this is an important interview, and I probably have that in one of my older videos. But the reason this is important to think about, and this is key, is because, okay, well, if the creator said that he needed to do that, now that Konami's in full charge, and they were always a part of the production, so they're as much creators of the game as Hideo Kojima. So it wasn't just him, you know. But the point is now they feel the same way as he did, stating the similar thing where they have to redo things. And so I'm interested to see what they can do with it. You know, that whether it's part 1 or 2 from the originals, they basically have some crazy plot twists, have some cool boss fights. In modern day, that can be very special, but they have to have the liberty of being free, right? And we look at Delta and we look at what they're doing with Delta. They're not free from the level design. They're not free from any of the environments or enemies scenarios. They've changed the mechanics of the player and some of the AI, intelligence, difficulty, and camera, but they've kept the core experience and cutscenes, which is a great thing, right? That's what we want. We don't want to ruin a masterpiece. But the fact that they explain that in Metal Gear Solid, there are certain scenes and areas that they would have to remake to work with the third person camera angle versus the over the top one that exists now. And this is a good thing that they're taking time to say this and to feel this, because if you're just a rookie and you're like, okay, we'll try to remake this and not really put in the time and effort and really care about it, then you would make a bad game. Sorry to say it. And a lot of us think we'll make the best game, but you probably wouldn't, because you might not take into consideration the things that everybody in the series will. So it's a difficult task to please millions. And I do believe that the first 4 games of the Metal Gear chronological story, I'm sorry, not chronological, release order. So just think about those, whether it's Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake, Metal Gear Solid, and Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty. Those are the ones that could be remade right now with enhanced graphics, with the new player controls, with the new camera angles and AI responsiveness, and maybe some new level designs in there. We just seen Silent Hill 2 just blow up and do something special with the new areas and new scenarios that they threw at you. I thought that was amazing, and I do think that this can be amazing. this is probably the best news of the year when it comes to all of this. Sure, you know, volume 2 for the Master Collection is incredible. You know, you talk about all of the cool stuff that we got. I love all of it. Don't get it twisted. I'm the first one to champion those things, but I'm also excited about that the future is going to be bright and that we're not going to just get left behind and they'll never make another game. And so I do want to discuss a roadmap into what's possible for this series. It's good news. Celebrate it. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. And again, enter that giveaway so that I could get you guys some prizes and things like that. We want to build this channel up. So the more you share this, the better it is, because we want to build a big audience. The bigger it is, the more giveaways we do. Right? Thank y'all so much. I'm going to go ahead and give y'all a next video where I break down the roadmap for what I believe will be coming now that the developer said for the next 50 years there will be games. Well, I got a roadmap for you guys, and you should watch it on the next video. See you there.